Good afternoon. We have with us Mr. Madhav Prasad Aggarwal, promoter Sajjan India Limited. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Pravinji.
You want to become a leading contract manufacturer of specialty chemicals. So would you talk about what are the things that you are planning under specialty chemicals?
Well, we have been already in this space since last couple of decades, starting with earlier with dye and pigment intermediates. And since last 20 years, we are in the space of custom manufacturing or contract manufacturing, which means we obtain technology from our foreign partners, also fine-tune it, make it more robust and more efficient, which is much more competitive than it has been even with the inventor. And we scale it up as per current manufacturing excellence standards, which also means automizing the plants. So not only just now with the COVID situation, but we already had on our drawing board to make our plants much more cost efficient, and automizing was an important part of it. So that activity is on full-fledged right now, and that is the only and the best way forward, I think, for most chemical industries in our space. And yeah, we see encouraging opportunities, mainly for existing companies who have a proven track record and who can handle complex reactions and the hazardous raw materials, which is quite, I would say, knowledge-based. And with the experience, what we have gained and the fantastic team, what we have created, we see ourselves being able to perform very efficiently to the satisfaction of our foreign partners going forward.
You have been very active in the chemical sector for a long time. So how do you see the industry trend in chemical sector in 2021?
I think it will be a year of overall consolidation, so to say, in the sense that the Chinese industry, as you know, had faced immense challenges in the last couple of years due to environment reasons and safety reasons. So a lot depends on what happens vis-a-vis Chinese industry as well. So having said that, learning from all what has been happening, Indian industry, I think, has matured quite a bit. And all the new expansions which are being undertaken by the existing players are with very good standards. And I think rather than new entrants coming in, there are a lot of entry barriers, as you can imagine, with respect to IP situation, as well as the high investment needed now for specialty chemical manufacturing, besides technical know-hows and waste treatment plants, affordability, etc. So existing players who have learned excellence in manufacturing in the last 20 to 30 years, they are able to cope up with all these situation and invest sensibly going forward. So I don't see too many newcomers coming in, but existing handful existing manufacturers who are operating, I see them continuously growing. Having said that, they have grown quite a bit in the last couple of years. So I think, again, so as I said at the beginning, a little bit of consolidation in 2021 and 22, and further growth thereafter. A lot depends, of course, on the Chinese industry as well, how they fare. But as you know, Their costs have increased significantly, rightly so, because earlier they were heavily subsidized. There was less adherence to environment and safety laws. So all those things are also changing and have changed, adding to cost pressure, thereby making it a level playing field with the Indian industry. So I would say it's a good space to be in for existing players.
Would you talk about your new plant, sir?
We are setting up a new plant which is diagonally opposite our existing site, which we set up in 1997. As such, the Sajjan India has been in chemicals since 1974, but the Ankleshwar site in Gujarat, we commenced in 1997 and have grown there steadily. And we have now acquired in 2 tranches additional land, which is about totally 16 acres, which is diagonally opposite our existing site. And we have nearly more than 500 people at the site right now. In spite of the COVID situation, since April, we have, our team has done a splendid job operating very safely. And we have had no surprises, and the team has done a fantastic job. And we hope to commence this new expansion manufacturing by the end of this year as planned. And this will be for some new molecules to be produced for the first time in India and involving some very complex chemistry and reactions. So we are all very excited and hope to be, I think, market leaders in some of these products, which we anticipate producing from end of 21 through 22 onwards.
What's the investment that you are planning, sir? And these molecules will cater to which market or which vertical?
In 2020, we have already invested close to 140, 150 crore rupees. And going forward in 2021, I think additional 200 to 300 crores would be spent for all the expansion. The important thing is this is all entirely from internal accruals. So none of it is debt. So I'm very glad to say that we are one of those very few companies, or maybe the only company with in this scale with operating with zero debt. So we have always been zero debt, and we expect to remain zero debt for the years to come.
So total investment would be, sir, 440 or?
Yeah, from the existing site, we have invested nearly 100 crores in this year, and the new site would be about 300 crores plus minus.
So you are saying 440 crores over a year time frame, or?
Over the 2 years, 2020 and 2021.
Okay. And this molecule will cater to, sir, the specialty industry or to the agrochemical industry?
Yeah, more to agro, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. And this is all in-house R&D, or you have tied up with some R&D labs, or you have tied up with some?
It's tied up with foreign technology and lot of fine tuning and some more supported by our process experts in-house. So we have made it much more robust to make it very efficient and cost effective.
So in order to bring the cost down, what are the different initiatives that you are taking in your in-house R&D team? Because you also have a full-fledged in-house R&D team that you are working with. So how are you trying to bring the cost down, and what processes are you trying to work out for this new setup?
We have actually a few PhDs who are heading different lines in our R&D, and with some more PhDs and chemists working in each of these verticals below them. And they work sometimes even 24 hours. And they are all very well qualified and experienced. And with a lot of brainstorming internally and with, in some cases, with our foreign partners, they try to make the process and manufacturing much more efficient, and also invent ways how to minimize waste, which is very critical and necessary.
Would you be able to reveal the name of your foreign partner, or you want to keep it under wraps?
Basically, they are all among the top line multinationals. So from the West and Far East. So basically, we are attached to multinationals in US, West Europe, and in the Far East.
So what's the revenue breakup that you are forecast for revenue and profit forecast for FY 2020-21 and also for 2021-22?
It's not been actually out of design, but I think out of default, somehow our revenues have grown more in the agro space, contributing to nearly 75% or so. And we think it would be in this region, 75 to 80% going forward next couple of years. In terms of number for March 21, I think our top line would be in the region of about 1100 to 1200 crore rupees. And 2022, we expect it to be more than 1500 crores. This is all entirely exports. So we are a EOU, and even though it permits a lot of sale domestically, but most of our products are entirely exported.
Even the 1100, 1200, which you plan to do in FY 2021 is entirely export, or is it?
Yes, it's 95%, I would say, close to 95% exports.
So going forward, the run rate would be the same? From 1500 crores, you see further jump, or you will still remain at 1500?
Too early to say. I think we try to be very cautious in our outlook, I would think. So we will take it as it comes. We don't want to just grow for the sake of numbers, but we want to only grow where we see a win-win situation, where we can grow in the top line and bottom line and have it fully manageable with our fiscal discipline remaining.
And what about the profitability numbers for this year as well as the next financial year?
I think it is more or less in line with the industry trend. And we actually beat the industry a bit because of zero finance cost and better cost structure. So I think our numbers are a little more robust than the industry average.
Any specific reason for not taking debt from the market? And presently pushing this project only through internal accruals?
Well, we have, right from the inception, we have been very conservative. We have never been comfortable with taking any debt. So as we saw in the past, a lot of companies went in for some foreign debt as well, which you get at LIBOR plus some nominal percentage, thereby 3%, 4%. In rupee, having said that, today we could have finance available even at 6 or 7%. But we have always been cash surplus. So if I'm investing my money at 5%, it doesn't make sense for me to borrow at a higher percentage. So we have always had some positive cash flow, and being 100% closely held, I don't see any reason to borrow so far.
And with this new setup coming up, do you see any change in your revenue breakup with respect to agro, pharma, dyes, and electronics product, or will it remain the same?
I think, yeah, plus minus the same, plus minus 5%. It should be the same.
And the plant which you would be making operational in December of 2020, will it be a fully automated plant, or how are you planning, sir?
Yes, the one which we are starting up in 2021, will be fully automated. In fact, the entire existing site what we have, also we have a plan right now being executed to make it also 100% fully automated, just to ensure excellent productivity and overall the safety. So we eliminate.
And what about sustainability part, sir?
Well, I would say with productivity and economics attached to that, and safety, I think automatically sustainability is taken care, and that is exactly the reason why we are spending a huge sum for automizing the whole setup.
You are also very employee friendly. Any underlying principle that you had, and you have been right from the beginning, being a very employee friendly company. So, any specific reason, or you had some role models in place which you wanted to replicate?
Good question. Yeah, I think so. My grandfather, who had started our textile business, and my father, of course, I think they have been my role models. And I'm very proud to say that some of the employees my grandfather had hired in 1957 when he bought over a textile mill in Madhya Pradesh. So one of the employees who just passed away a couple of years ago, so he had been working for us right since then till he passed away a few years ago. Similarly, we have some second generation people also attached to us who still are with the organization. So what I've understood and what I firmly believe in is, yes, qualification is extremely important, no doubt. But the discipline, the dedication and loyalty, I think also is much more, if not equally important. And that is what I firmly believe in. And in that same spirit, I think we, by and large, treat all our employees across all levels in a truly dignified manner, and doing some innovative things or helping them in ways which is not really a standard, but it's more, out of emotion or spirit of giving. So when I'm doing a lot in the CSR space as well, out of choice, so why not begin at home? So I firmly believe in that, and that's the spirit with which I operate. And the byproduct of that is, of course, I get a lot of stability and loyalty and dedicated people, which I'm very proud of.
So your attrition would be the lowest, sir, in the industry?
I don't know, but I believe we have very consistent people who have been with us since a long, long time.
And would you also talk about, sir, your CSR activities that you have done in 2020, and what are your plans in 2021?
Right. I mean, so far what we have done is a lot in the area in Gujarat where we exist. So Plant Ecology Study Center, Sajjan Lions International Academy, which is one of the very modern schools in that area. We also promoted Department of Chemical Engineering. This is a part of the SR Shroff Institute I'm very glad to say that particularly in 2020, we made a commitment to Breach Candy Hospital in Bombay. So we are closely attached to them since a long time. And they are coming up with a very ambitious expansion of 11-story building. So out of that, 2 stories have been contributed by us. So 1 floor is going to be ICU, which is dedicated to also my parents. And the 2nd floor is patient's wing, both of which will be ultra-modern. So this is all under construction. And we have committed there nearly 20 crore of rupees for this. So I believe we are among the only non-listed company or private player who has made such a significant contribution there. And we are in the process of discussing various other initiatives in Gujarat as well for some new college and universities. So healthcare and education, this is what appeals to us the most, and we are quite committed to that.